Welcome back to Rich Words Music. When it comes to the guitar tones of the 1960s and the real birth and explosion of rock and roll, for me there were three different amp companies that were behind those iconic guitar tones. The first two would be Fender and Marshall, and the third one would be Vox amplifiers. And the Vox tone, and specifically the AC30 tone, is what this new pedal, the NUX 63 Diamond, is attempting to emulate. But what is the Vox sound? Well, for me personally, I've always associated Vox with the adjectives chimey and jangly, as I guess many of you have as well, and to me that means a lot of mid-range. It means a real presence in the high end, a lot of brightness, but not shrillness or ice pickiness or anything like that. It means a fantastic tone, and I associate it with specific bands and genres of music as well. For me personally, it all starts with the Beatles and the British invasion from the 1960s. Now, my parents played a lot of that kind of music for me when I was growing up, and it's stuck with me ever since. And when I got a bit older and I started exploring music for myself, Brian May and Queen became one of my favourites, and of course Brian May is renowned for his use of the Vox AC30 and the treble booster. Moving into the new millennium, of course, there are a bunch of amazing alternative rock and indie bands from Radiohead downwards who have used the Vox to great effect. So I love the tones of Vox amps, and what this pedal promises to do is turn any other amplifier into a Vox AC30 kind of amp. At least that's the general idea, and that's what we're going to find out in this video, because I'm going to put the 63 Diamond through its paces in as many different musical styles as I possibly can, with single coil and humbucking pickups for you. But let me give you a bit of information about the pedal first. Now, like I said, it's called the 63 Diamond after a 1963 Vox AC30 amplifier with top boost circuit, and it'll set you back sub $50, sub 50 euros, or about 40 to 45 great British pounds. Now, we've just got four main controls on this pedal, three chicken head knobs in the Vox style. We've got a volume here, which is more like the gain control. We've got a master control, which is your volume control, and we've got a cut control, which lets you cut and boost high frequencies on the pedal. As you turn it in the downwards direction, you're going to have less low end and more high end coming through. Now, over here at the side, we also have a top boost switch. Flick that up to engage the top boost, which gives you a boost in higher end frequencies. Just looking elsewhere at the pedal, you can quite clearly see that NUX have been very influenced aesthetically by Vox as well. We've got the diamond shaping from the iconic Vox speaker grills, and we've also got the red design here from the front control panels of Vox amps as well. You can power this via 9-volt power supply or via a 9-volt battery, and that's about it. So what we're going to do next is test the NUX 63 Diamond and see if it turns my Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit 200's clean channel into a snarling AC30. Now, I'll have a bit of reverb on the amp, and I'll have it set to a pretty neutral clean setting for most of the video, although we'll also try the 63 Diamond into the crunch channel to hear how it sounds as a boost. And for my guitars today, I'll be using my Fender Telecaster for single coil tones and my Epiphone Les Paul for humbucking tones. Note that my Telly does have a neck humbucker fitted, but I've got that wired for true single coil tones for the duration of this video. After we've finished playing the riffs, then we'll also do a couple of loops, one with each guitar, where I really twist the knobs and flick that top boost switch, and you can really hear the versatility and the extremes to which you can get the 63 Diamond to go tonally. Enough talk then, this is the NUX 63 Diamond. Let's play it now, and we'll speak in a bit more detail about it afterwards. Okay then, so that was the NUX 63 Diamond Overdrive pedal, and I hope you enjoyed the playing and the tones. Please leave me a comment down there telling me whether you think this pedal sounds good or not, and if you're a Vox owner, let me know to what extent you think this nails the Vox AC30 vibe. Really interested to hear what you guys think. But what I'm going to do now is give you some of my opinions in a bit more depth about this pedal, because I've had it from NUX to make this video for a few weeks now, and I've been riffing on it a lot in that time because it's a whole lot of fun. But I'll start by telling you the things that I really like about the pedal, and the first thing is those tones. Now, does this pedal instantly turn any amplifier into a Vox AC30? Well, I don't think that would be entirely possible. That's not really how this sort of thing works, but it does get you into that ballpark straight away. And for me personally, the Vox character is present in abundance in this pedal. As soon as I turned it on, I had my Fender Telecaster plugged in, I was getting what I thought sounded like Voxy, Beatlesy sort of tones. I had a nice pushed clean sort of a sound going on, and it just worked for me. It just gave me that British Invasion 60s rock sort of a tone. I really, really liked it straight away. And the more I tweaked the pedal, the more into Voss sort of soundscapes I managed to get. Now with the Telecaster, you get great clean sort of boosts with a lot of top end, and you can push it up to get great indie rock, alternative rock, and classic rock tones as well. The amount of gain in this pedal is not going to be enough to play metal or anything like that, but when was the last time you saw someone using a Vox AC30 to play metal anyway? That's not what this pedal, or indeed that amplifier, is really about. With the hotter humbuckers in the Les Paul though, hard rock and punk rock really worked pretty well. Now of course, going into the crunch channel of the amp, or indeed using a boost in front of this pedal, is going to give you thicker, gainier results there, but that's not really what this pedal is about. And with both of my guitars, I got those great chimey and jangly tones that really ticked all the Vox boxes for me. Now, the top boost is an interesting addition to this pedal. I think it's great to have it, and I wouldn't want to have this pedal just with the top boost engaged or with it not on at all times. I really think having the option of it really helps, particularly with my two guitars. Now with the Telecaster, I found that for the lower gain stuff, it was really nice to have the top boost, but as I got up into classic rock sort of territory, it was becoming a little bit shrill. No problem, flick off the top boost and you're good to go. In contrast, with the thicker, darker humbuckers of the Les Paul, I found that having the top boost on at pretty much all times was the way to go. Now, tonally, one more thing to mention is the fact that I think when you're down below 12 o'clock on the volume or the gain, the pedal does have a propensity to become a little bit dark, and that's where the top boost really comes into its own and really gives you the sounds that you're going to be looking for with this pedal. So it's a really great sounding thing, a whole lot of fun as well, and in that regard, it's already going to be worth the sub 50 bucks or 50 euros that you're going to pay for it, in my opinion. But apart from the tones, what else do I like about it? Well, that price, of course, it's really, really affordable, and I think NUX have done a great job there. And in terms of build quality too, I think it feels pretty solid, particularly in comparison to some of the similarly priced NUX pedals that I've tried in the past. Now, the pots and the knobs on those ones didn't feel anywhere near as solid as they do on the 63 Diamonds, so full marks there as well. I don't think this pedal is going to break anytime soon. I also quite like the aesthetics of it. I really like the chicken head knobs, and I don't really know about the rest of it, but you certainly know exactly what they were going for with this pedal. No one is going to mistake the fact that this is a Vox in a box. So lots of cool things about this pedal then, but what don't I like about it quite so much? Well, I've got to be honest and say there's nothing really that I don't like about this pedal, especially for this price point, because it's so affordable. There's really nothing that I can complain about. Like I mentioned before with the tone stuff, yes, it's a little bit dark when you've got the gain turned down, but firstly, you've got the top boost to rectify that, and secondly, well, that's how Vox amps kind of sound, so it's really doing its job just the way it should be, and in that respect, it's a fantastic Vox in the box for the money, and I don't want to criticize it in any way. Now, if you've been watching this video though, and you're interested in this Vox in a box sort of a sound, and you're wondering what else is out there, well, there are quite a few Vox in a box type pedals around, but there's nowhere near as many as, for example, Marshall in a box type pedals, where there are hundreds and hundreds of those available. The Vox in a box is a little bit more of an acquired taste, perhaps, but if you're looking for something similar to this in terms of budget, price point, well, you could do far worse than checking out the Joyo or Harley Benton AC tone pedal. Seems to be exactly the same pedal, just with different brand names on it. That'll set you back about 30 euros or about $30, and it's a really, really versatile take on the Vox and the AC30 style of tones. A really, really cool pedal that I can heartily recommend if you're really strapped for cash. Now, if you want to spend a bit more money, you could of course try something like Victory amps, the copper. There are many options there. Or you could try the Vox Mystic Edge pedal. That being made by Vox, that's definitely going to have the correct Vox DNA in it. And if you want to go even more boutique for about 4 times the price of the 63 Diamond, you could go for an amazing pedal like the Greer Amps Royal Velvet. Greer Amps, personally, I love. I've got the Lightspeed and love it. I've got the Guerrilla Warfare and love it. I've got the Black Mountain Crunch Drive and love it. And I need to get the Southland as well. But the Royal Velvet is Greer's take on the Vox type of thing, and it's a fantastic pedal too. Now, of course, there are also many digital modeling options here, and the most well-loved at this moment in time would be the Universal Audio Ruby 63. That's about $350 or 350 euros, and that's a digital take on the whole Voxy sort of a thing. But in conclusion, I really think you can't go wrong with the NUX 63 Diamond, and I think if you're someone who's not really played Vox before, this is a great gateway pedal into those sorts of tones. It's a whole lot of fun, it's really affordable, looks kind of quirky and cool as well, and it's going to give you great tones that are probably a little bit different to the other standard overdrive boxes that you've got on your board anyway. So for this price point, I would recommend you give one a try if you ever get the chance. I think you'll really like it. I think you'll have a lot of fun playing it, and for me personally, well, this one's going to be going on my board, no question about that. I hope that this video has answered all of the questions that you may have had about the 63 Diamond, but if there's anything else you'd like to know, drop me a line down there in the comments and I shall do my best to answer you to the fullest of my abilities. And if you're still around, would really make my day if you wanted to give the video a like, or maybe even subscribe to my little channel, because that really does help. But that's been it for today then. I've been Rich, and this has been the NUX 63 Diamond, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.